Hey everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm with Daniel and we're gonna talk about Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Yes.
I actually been to the Xbox booth and I've seen a little bit of gameplay, what we've seen so far at E3, and also a new thing that was specifically made for Gamescom. So how much do you know about Ori and the Will of the Wisp?
So I don't really know a lot about it because I know it's a platformer.
Okay.
And I know everybody went mental for the first one, and I still need to pick up a copy of it just because I'm so far behind with everything. But tell me a little bit more about it.
Alright, so the first one came out I think 2016, then there was a sequel announced in 2017.
Yes.
And now at E3 this year in 2018 we actually got a second one. Also putting out the release trailer closer to end of this year, I think. And for Gamescom now we saw a new thing. Besides just new gameplay improvements, which were like the dash movement, for example, was increased to also include a dash inside of sand.
Right.
Which is like, not only can you just jump around on platforms, but some platforms are made of sand, and they're actually like sand beds where you just swim around in them now.
Gotcha.
Use this also with a dash mechanic.
That's cool.
So if you're stuck somewhere, you can maybe just dig into it, come back up again, and use the dash just before you leave the sand, and use the extra momentum to get even higher to a new platform.
Cool.
So that was one of the many things that were new to this.
Nice.
And of course, there's also like a new fighting mechanic, which we've seen at E3 this year. And just to quickly sum it up, it's not only like we have different dash abilities now, but we also have swords, bow and arrow, and even a hammer like weapon that Ori can use in order to defend enemies. As they said, the goal was to bring in like a little like dance movement, like how it is in Dark Souls. No, the game is not like Dark Souls. I'm not saying this. They said themselves they wanted to have a game mechanic which is remembering them of Dark Souls, where you have to be back and forth, like on your feet. It's not just dashing all the time. It's not just being punching as an enemy. It's just dancing with them back and forth and see how you're doing. You jump over them. You use your weapon, for example, that you also have now to go over an enemy and then also dash from behind, for example, with a weapon. More
of like a flow of combat rather than just
combat flow,
one or
which
two things.
Really nice.
Nice.
The thing that was new now for Gamescom specifically was that we had a Spirit Trails, which was just time trials of certain map aspects where you have to find your way through the map. As it is still a Metroidvania game, you have an open map to explore for you, and sometimes you just find these portals and you have to beat, of course, the time. And the cool thing is actually that these spirits are actually from the community themselves. So you also feed into a system that records your gameplay. And if you're like a hub in a high score, like say for example you have 60 seconds of time and you make like a time of 45 seconds and you see, okay, you placed for example 30 on the score list, and you want to see, okay, what's the next guy doing? He has like 5 seconds of like really a long distance from everyone else. What has he done differently? He's the new path. You can just watch the replay very easy, can orient yourself on that time and also go after that, which is really cool. Because as it is a platformer, it's also like a nice way to just race your friends, say, hey, I want to do this, and that's also possible. So you can actually race your friends through the platform and see who's having the better time. Yeah. And also that, and of course, if you're alone, you can still play against like an online community, which is like the Ghost, actually, the Spirit Trails.
So is the Ghost, when you first encounter it, is it an average of the communities, or is it more like you do like the top one and then however you place is just...
The ghosts actually start off very easy, and so most likely you're just running away from them. Right. But there's a matchmaking system involved with that, so if you enter sort of your first time actually, you get matched up with all the others that are there in the pool of also recorded gameplays. Okay. And then you see, okay, there are actually guys that are running away from me way faster, and even someone who's probably just away just a very few seconds. Gotcha. And the way the platform works is just very, again, simple to understand, but hard to master. Yeah. And I had great fun with it. Like, it took me 3 attempts to actually finish the first race, because there was actually a 60-second time limit. Wow. And the first 2 times I was like, okay, I want to understand the mechanic first, I want to see where I can go. Then I need to remember where the gameplay designer was, because he played the same track first. And I remember, okay, I gotta go to the top and then to the left somewhat. So it took me 2 attempts to get the correct sort of course done, and then the third time I finally also had a time which put like at 45 seconds. Right, and gotcha. The result of that was like really awesome. You just sat down and was thinking, okay, I know where to go, I finally understand how to connect all the movements, and methods that I can use to just boost myself forward, like for example the dash inside the sand.
Yeah.
And this was really great. Just fun to play a platform that's not just jumping and running fast, but also using different mechanics, like for example grappling hooks, double jumps, and then even the dash on the ground and inside the ground.
Gotcha. Cool. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the developers actually said they got really addicted to this mode, and they said, like, hey, we gotta develop the game also. So from their standpoint on, it looks like really promising.
Yeah.
I think besides the campaign itself, of course, which is very promising, we also get like additional mode, which helps to bring even more gameplay to this thing, which gives replayability, of course, and it really helps to make the game even bigger afterwards, after playing through it.
Yeah, I could definitely see a lot of people playing through.
Sorry, we're a little unsharp right now. I think it's better now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I could definitely see a lot of people playing through the main game itself, and then definitely coming back to these time trials and
because
trying to
also have to
up
find
their
them
score.
inside the world. That's the thing. It's not just like, oh, there's a different mode time trials. You also have to find them inside the world first to activate them, and then you can select them for the main menu.
That's really cool.
So it's really part also of the overall game itself.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah. So.
It was a lot of fun, and thanks Xbox for letting us in and showing us a few games. We have more games like Sable, which Emily saw, and we also have a State of Decay to Daybreak video that Dan actually did, so check that out, they're linked, of course, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Like us if you like to, and subscribe to never see new videos. Thank you, Dan, as always, for joining me, and I'm Hastis. You can find us here also on our @tags, and of course, @thenewbyte everywhere. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
See you around, guys.